And happy Wednesday, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Strongbacks Strongcast. I'm Ralph of the Strongbacks, and welcome, guys. Today we got another big talk with some big guests. Now, these guys we met back in the day, and man, it was such a journey to be a new band on the scene and just seeing all of the bands that were available and all the different vibes that we could find out there, all the different rhythms, all the different sounds that Florida had to offer. And, Central Florida had its sound, but until you made it out to the edges, the coast, Daytona, Cocoa Beach, Tampa, now you're starting to get into like a crazy Florida style that, you couldn't squeeze an orange on it and make it more Florida, and it starts to take on a life of its own, its own identity. And some call it surf rock. Some people call it southern reggae, or a more contemporary reggae. Honestly, if you're playing a really good vibe and reggae is implied, you're doing yourself justice. You're doing justice to the very music that you love, by providing a very good a grounded foundation of music that goes with all of your other musical interests. And it's awesome to see. These guys are coming from the Space Coast. You know what I mean? They infused their style of reggae with surf rock, and they did a number of shows that had their overall encompassing sound and the vibe, and like how much these guys love life and love to have a good time party. And when you meet these guys, all they want to do is be your friend. It's like being at a frat party, and they're just bros. And no matter where you are, they're looking for you. They're looking to have a good time. We're talking about the Intracoastals, and tonight we have two of the big guys of the Intracoastals. We have Scott Lonker and Matt Fishero. Guys, welcome to the Strongbacks Strongcast. How y'all doing?
How's it going, man? What's up, dude?
Oh man, it's going, and we're all, man. And I'm just gonna be create some transparency here. Sometimes these podcasts happen so on the spot, so fast. I would like to think that I'm doing a whole lot of preparing. But we were here about 5-10 minutes before, get it all together, sit down. We're all getting off of work. We're all trying to relax. We're all getting like fast food to just get dinner in before we do anything else with our evening. And here we are. And now it's just like we're just going to have a nice chat. And it's great. It's great to see you guys again. It's been forever since we played together. It must. I think it was West End Trading Company down in Stanford that we played, and that just feels like home every time we go. It feels like a party. Feels like a party you were invited.
Yeah, we love West End, man. West End's one of the first venues that ever gave us a shot to play an actual stage. So we appreciate West End a lot.
Yeah, and the beauty now is that now it's not just a little stage on the corner. They put the work in, man.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Massive now.
Yeah,
now they're giving
to their advantage, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Now they're giving us the social a run for their money with their setup now, man. It's impressive what they're doing.
We actually have a show at West End April 3rd with the
Look
Suburbs.
That. Plug it with the Suburbs. Wow, that's going to be a show and a half.
I believe Billy was on one of the previous podcasts.
Yeah, he was my first guest, man. We christened the entire thing together. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Everybody watching, if you like the Suburbs and Intracoastals, April 3rd, West End. Come check it out.
That's right. April 3rd. Get out there, guys. I wanted to invite you guys on because I know that you guys have been working hard on a new album. Yes. And I wanted to take this opportunity to kind of dive in to what it is that makes a song, essentially, right? Maybe one day you're at work and you're thinking to yourself, man, I got this melody in my head. And it could be something as simple as a bass line, bum, 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 something that comes to your head. And you start to build on that as a musician. And before long, a few seconds later, you're in this trance and you're like, everything's coming together and this song has to happen. I can't get it out of my head. And I want to know, well, not know, but I want to discuss with you guys how it is that us as musicians, how do we get from that point to where everybody's enjoying our music, man, and it's their favorite song sometimes, or it's a song they can rely on when they're going through some stuff. So let's start with you guys, man. What's your songwriting process like? Like, you guys get together.
It's a long and lonesome road, man. It's crazy. It's our songs come from several different places. There's many of our songs that we've written on stage because we needed to fill time, and it just so happened to be that we liked it a lot and remembered it.
And sometimes not.
That's happened several times. Yeah, we've written bad songs on stage too. A lot of times Scotty will come up with a, like you said, a hook. There's something that's stuck in his head that's rattling around in there. And then we go to practice and we find the music for it. And then, we'll be like, this is the one, this is the next one on the album. This has got to be played. And we'll just kind of massage that music until it sounds right. And once we're ready, we'll put it into the computer and start from the ground up. You get your drum lines down, you get your guitars down, and just start building it up track by track.
And the synergy of being in tandem mind with another member of your band. Sometimes people don't realize this. Sometimes there's a unified structure of songwriting, and it's not necessarily everyone involved. Sometimes it's one or two or even three people that put together the very concept of these big songs that wind up happening, right? So what is it like for you guys, as you guys play different instruments? What's it like for you, not just as musicians, but as bandmates? Talk about those moments where you're thinking about something and you guys are maybe like in sync, or where maybe you're not in sync, and either something you're playing or something you're doing kind of pulls it all in together. Talk about that for a second.
Well, there's definitely been plenty of times where like, nope, that was wrong. Do that again. Practice that again. Nope, that was wrong. Let's practice that again.
And over.
And over and over again. That's just normal being in a band.
Oh, yeah.
But there's just as many, if not more times where it's like, I just loved what you did. Let's embellish on that. That guitar line, whatever you just did, remember that, because we're going to need that later. There's plenty of times, and our sax player, man, she comes up with crazy stuff that sounds beautiful all the time. And we're lucky to have musicians that have such a unique take on their own instrument, and to be able to kind of exploit that into a band, and I'm going to take your superpower and your superpower, and I'm going to meld it into this Play-Doh thing, and I'm going to give it to everybody. We're going to give it to everybody.
And these songs, I mean, and I know from experience, man, like you have one idea, and you sometimes you're like married to it. You bring it to the guys and you're like, this is it. This is the vision, right? And either they fix something you didn't know was broken, right? Or they take you on this other journey that's going on in their head while they hear your idea, and it just becomes this like throwing paint at the wall together till there's this giant mural, right?
That's the beauty part of being in a band. That's what it's about. I've done solo work where, you record your own solo song and it's going to come out the way that you envisioned it because you just recorded everything for it. But whenever you're in a band, you take these ideas from everyone else and you're like, you got to be okay with it not coming out exactly the way you pictured it, because you are in a band with everybody. We have a song that ties into this perfectly, and it was not, the finished product is not necessarily what Scotty thought it was going to be from the very beginning.
I'll say this much: when I'm writing at home with just me and my acoustic guitar, like every songwriter does, I know when I'm writing it, that when I take it to my group, that it's not going to come out how I hear it at home at all. It's tough, but you have to be open to what's the right word?
Collaboration.
Collaboration a lot. You can't be. Now, don't get me wrong. Me and Matt pretty much handle the lyrics. We're pretty much the lyric writers of the group. Some lyrics, if it means something to me or something like that, I'll be like, nope, we ain't changing it. And then sometimes I'll be like, hey man, I put this here, but I really don't like it, and I can't think of nothing else. So can you concentrate on this part? And he'll come up with something, and we'll all work with it. And that's pretty much how it happens, man.
Yeah, we're pretty much all songwriters in one way or another in this group. And some of us, are hook writers. Some of us are lyricists. Some of us understand, or not, maybe not understand, but produce the general layout of the song, the chord progressions and stuff like that, the rhythms of the song. And that's the best part of being in the band is you take it from everybody. Because who really wants to hear just one person's take on a song? I want to hear the collective efforts.
Yeah.
Right.
If I had to say what the key of songwriting in general is to me, it would be the experiences you have in life. If you sit there and think and be like, every piece of trauma, every happiness, every joy, every sadness, you can find a song in every little thing. And anybody can do it.
You really can.
As long as you practice it and actually try, anybody can do it.
And that's what I was going to ask about. Now, specifically with the Intracoastals, I mean, we Florida has an ability to draw you in with its story individually, and I've learned that living here as long as I've lived here, and specifically the stories that we can tell with the music that we can play, right? And specifically with the Intracoastals, what would you say is like that message that comes from listening to your music?
I think if you could put Florida Man into music, that would be who we are.
Minus the meth.
Yeah, minus the meth.
Man, I'll tell you what. Our motto, I think, pretty much is be yourself. Totally be yourself and
have fun doing it.
Have fun doing it. I mean, you can go in front of a camera and act any day, but at the end of the day, I can play on any stage that will have me, but at the end of the day, I'm just a poor guy from Florida. That's pretty much it, man.
Yeah.
And fun. We like to get as many people as we're in front of to have the same fun we're having.
It's pretty much all the orange juice, chlorinated water.
Absolutely.
I think that's what it is. I mean,
and you guys got this.
Man.
You guys got this vibe about you, man. And reggae music, permeates what you guys are doing, man. Like there's so many rhythms you guys play, just effortlessly in a vibe. And we've talked about this before, man. When you're playing a style like reggae music, you go into a trance, man, and that transforms what you're doing. You go into this place where, whatever you're going through goes away, and all you're feeling is that Florida sun, that relaxing, beach life, the take your cares away. And it's easier to do when, a little reggae is involved. So where does your reggae come from? Where does that influence in your music? Where does it originate?
I don't think that you can call us your traditional reggae band.
I'll tell you what, man, I got a lot of friends that play reggae music, and I don't think we're it. I think we're reggae inspired. Let's say.
Well, I think that's in a lot of ways what I meant. Yeah.
A reggae band.
What we try to do is pull from different genres and bring it back home to our. We got this core sound that we do or whatever, and we're trying to pull from different genres, little influences, little flavors to create this dish that we're serving. And I wouldn't say that it's a traditional reggae dish.
Well, if we had to,
Mega Tsunami Rock is what I like to call it.
I mean,
dude, that sounds amazing.
We has literally on this next album we have coming out. We have literally every kind of genre there is except jazz.
It's we
have a sax player though.
For a mini album, we've pulled a bunch of different genres together, and it's fun doing that. You got a little Hispanic Spanish flavor here, and then you've got a little bit of rap here, you got a little bit of heavy metal here, you got some singer-songwriter, traditional Florida rock, some Tom Petty is on what I'm talking about there. We got a little bit of all of it, or at least we're trying to. That's the idea behind it.
somewhere along the line, and as a lot of us have heard it, there is a little bit of check it.
Of
Check
course.
it. You know what I'm saying? And that's essentially what where I was getting at, trying to pinpoint specifically that sound, because we're all drawn from different genres specifically. I mean, me myself, I played metal for years, right? And a little bit of my guitar experience that I put into the music comes from, my chops and my, trying to get really, really accurate and trying to be quick and trying to be, have good phrasing, with guitar playing. And so, specifically, where does that vibe come from? Because it could be, I grew up listening to this, or my dad let me listen to this one time and I got hooked, or, I was at a party and my buddies were listening to that. Maybe take me through a few of your influential bands, right? Maybe some songs that really speak to you and make you want to really fall into that vibe as well.
Go for it.
Well, I think that Florida in general has a bunch of different types of people. We have, the beach people, the country people, all kind of people, people that vacation here. And
it's a melting pot.
It is a big melting pot. And me, myself, I'm from Central Florida. I started off playing country music, actually. It was my first type of music I played. And I always had a passion for reggae. I always was a huge Bob Marley fan. Huge Sublime fan when I was in the 90s,
Sublime.
And
the Expendables.
Expendables, totally.
Arch Bandits.
I think what we like to do is we like to sit back and take it easy and have a good time. And that's where the kind of like the reggae vibe comes from. But we also like to rock, too. So
we've seen it.
Heavy rock.
Oh yeah.
The verse, it drops down to So
and that's what I meant. You guys party not just in life, but you guys party inside of a song. When you make the song, there's a party happening in the song of genres.
We named our new album "All the Stories Are True" because every song on it is pretty much a story. And
that's true.
Every last one of them. True. I mean, it's some you might like, some you might not, but that don't make them not true though. So that's pretty much what we did with that. And it's just like I said, it goes back to like I said about songwriting. It's just the experiences you have.
You're talking about influences, man. All of our bandmates have a wide variety of influences. No one is like, one laned into one type of music. We classic rock, hard rock, reggae, country, singer-songwriter, R&B, rap. We literally spread, our fingers across everything, and I think that's what makes it work. Whenever I say we bring these genres home, I'm meaning back to that skank, back to that reggae vibe. I mean, that is
it always come back to the skank.
That's the home base, man.
We
talk
good. No matter where we take it, it always comes back to the skank.
We talk specifically about the reggae rhythm and its allure to the average musician, right? Because some people call it simplistic, but there is a hidden technique to nailing that specific style of guitar playing. And
I might be biased, but it's the bass line, man. It's the bass line and that kick drum.
Yeah,
it drives. It drives. It definitely drives. I can only speak as a guitar player.
On reggae was with bass line. I started listening to those bass lines. It's like, how can you not just want to move to that? That's just so good.
Right. And we talked about how people use a specific style of not just skank or not just the way that you're playing the guitar, but when you're creating the vibe itself with the long or bumpy bass lines, with a nice reverb pedal on the guitar so it sounds a lot more spatial and things like that, you start to create, audible landscapes, right?
Exactly.
With your music.
Soundscapes.
Exactly. And when you're doing that specifically with reggae, that's what we talked about, where it transcends and it's easy to then pepper in other parts of what you love. because it's a beautiful canvas to put it on. You know,
It's
specifically
it's a smooth base for some soup, man. There's some pepper in the soup.
Absolutely. And now I mean, and you know, you have this song written, you know, and you practice and you chip away at it and you chip away at it. And now finally, you know, the original way of doing things is now you got to find the recording studio. And I know you guys have been around for a while. So, I mean, it is, tell me some of your, like, not stories, but some of your situations that you've had where it was either really challenging or it just couldn't take off that way when you guys are chasing, like, getting a song done.
Well, back in the day, you know, you used to have a friend that had a studio, or I mean, plenty of people still do, but that's how you did it. You'd go in and you'd lay all your tracks. You do the whole studio work. You know, the dude's back there behind a 1,000 faders, working on your song, and you're doing take after take after take and trying to get it all perfect as you can. And you know, technology's come a long way in the past 15, 20 years. You know, we have done our album on the iPad
in a bathroom.
That's where I was going with this, was you talking about challenges. Okay, well, we're having an issue finding a good place to do our vocals.
When's the last time you sang into a toilet? Yeah?
That depended what kind of frequency of reverb I was looking for.
That's just it, man. It's got like this reverb too. You're in a small room. There's some glass behind you. It's actually a decent recording booth, and I'll do some backup vocals in the front seat of my truck. That's a great vocal booth too. So we record all of our own music in a very non-professional way, but we put the time in and try and get the best sounds into the machine as we possibly can, so that way you know, you get the best sound coming out. And you know, we get creative along the way. One of our songs, we needed maracas. We didn't have them. He came up with the idea of grabbing some rice box. So I grabbed Uncle Ben's out of the pantry, and we're shaking Uncle Ben's to the song in the bathroom.
These are the hidden things that guys would love to be like. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, because this is not necessarily how these great, amazing songs are done. But lest we forget, a lot of us do not have the resources to create high quality studio albums. So we do have to get creative.
Or so you would think. We really don't have much for resources either. We bought a $30 microphone off of Wish, and between that and GarageBand on an iPad and a what was it called?
All the chords.
The Duo, the iPod Duo thing. That's literally everything we use.
That's our studio.
That's our entire studio. It's not super professional. We get our stuff mastered, but aside from that, everything's done on this program. And as long as you're getting good sounds going in, and you know you can get your fingers into the program and work it, you can produce some really good sounding stuff. It's quite surprising what you can come out with if you put the time in, and it does take some man hours.
And not to discredit the professionals that do this on a very high end level, that absolutely, you know what I mean? Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So when we decide,
if anyone likes what we've done,
we'll come hang out with you.
Hit us up.
We'll bring the studio to your house.
We'll come over to your house and sing in your bathroom. Put the mic up.
And a lot of people don't know this. Sometimes when you're forced to make these types of decisions where you're like, okay, how can I use what I have to do this? There are now tools, right, that allow us to not only produce but learn what it is the people that we were paying, you know, a lot of money to take care of. Now the bands are more in charge of their own intellectual property, their own sound. You know what I mean? You don't have someone who is out of touch with what it is you're trying to provide as far as a message or a song, right? You have this absolute power, absolute control, and it helps in a way, I think, to provide music on your terms. And that's something very special and different.
Well, the internet itself has made all these budding musicians that you would never have heard of before come out to light. And I mean, 20 years ago, it was hard to hear of new musicians. Now it's quite easy. You just go to YouTube, you go to SoundCloud, whatever, you hear all kinds of stuff that you've never heard before. You can listen to stuff you've never heard before for the rest of your life, which is awesome. And that's amazing. That's such a cool thing. But it does take, somewhat of a trained ear. It takes someone that's got I don't want to call it a knack, but maybe an apt to learn the workings of a song. And, you got to pull this frequency because it's pinging your ears. This snare hit is that far off of the beat, whatever it is, this vocal, this note is just almost on key.
You gotta pan everything this way.
Yeah. I want to hear the sax on this
Yeah.
side, and I want to hear the lead guitar on this side. Like, there's so much. It's a canvas, and you can paint it any way you want to. But you can also, not really put in the effort and just lay a couple dry tracks together, and then you're gonna get what you get. But if you put the effort in, like you said, man, it's at your fingertips. All these unknown bands, unsigned bands, local bands. It's at your fingertips, and you actually do some really good work, by yourself and have your own control over everything, which is really nice. It's totally different than it was not that long ago.
Exactly.
And do you guys find that the outlets for music are more apt to wanting to get you on there? Because I remember there was a time where like you had to jump through hoops just to get on Spotify. You had to do so much stuff just to get heard. And that's why people resorted to like SoundCloud and YouTube and just posting the absolute bare minimum at 360p, low quality, just because that's all you could really get out of your rig or whatever it was.
Well, I mean, it does take a little bit to get on, iTunes, Spotify, Rhapsody, Pandora.
It's not like YouTube where you just upload.
You can't just go upload it. There's a process. I mean, you have to have a business license and stuff like that, publishing, and all that other cool stuff. The crappy part of the music industry.
Yeah,
like,
part they don't tell you about.
The part they don't tell you about. It's not all,
Yeah.
Neon lights and women. But
yeah,
I'll tell you what. That part is, like I said, it's just a process, and everybody, you got to fill out the paperwork at the end.
It's really not hard. You just gotta have the drive to do it. You gotta go through the process and have the drive to do it. It's really not a hard to get on Spotify, to get on Apple Play, to get on any of that, or Google Play and iTunes and all that.
It's like you need 3 forms of ID to put it in. Like, you know what I mean? That's all I can.
Yeah.
I can relate to something that'd be cashing a check, and you need 3 forms of ID. All right, that's what.
Kind of close.
I mean, you need 3 things. So that's it.
So now you have the ability to get something from your head onto paper if you're a writer. Then you go to your band, you go to your bandmates, you get it on. Now in 2021, you have the ability to, you yourself as a musician, put down your music. If you just learn how to work specific programs that allow you to basically bring your ideas to life, right? So you get to this point where you have the song. Now you're ready to release it. You go through the red tape, you release the song, right? Now, talk to us about that breath of it's done, mixed with now the real work begins.
Well,
where you have to distribute, you have to promote it, you have to make sure that people don't forget we wrote this song.
It's funny you use that breath, because whenever you're recording a song, especially if you're the guy pressing all the buttons, you listen to that song 5,000 times. You listen to every note that every person in the band played 5,000 times. You repeat it and repeat it and repeat it until you're could possibly be more, and he's sick of the song. Like, nobody on the planet ever is going to hear the song more than the guy that pressed the buttons. So that sigh of relief is huge whenever it's finally done. It's mastered. You got it. Oh, I've got the mastered file. It's a wave. Here you go, Scotty. Do that thing you do.
The only person that hears that song just as many times is the guy editing the video for it. All right.
And there's another avenue that we can even discuss, is the idea that you can not only release a song, but now we have the tools to take video files, clip them, edit them, put it together. These are things that people weren't able to do a little while ago, and now all of a sudden it's handle it, man. You got this.
You can do it on your phone.
Literally.
On your phone. Absolutely.
I mean, it might not be the very best it could be if you had like a lot of something backing you. But,
but it's something you're pushing.
But it looks a lot better than the old camcorders that used to carry around like this.
You can put out content, and I think that for the most part, people out there are willing to bend on certain qualities for authenticity.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They're hearing something new. They're hearing something raw. They know that there wasn't $10,000 put behind this one song. And they're willing to bend for it to not sound like it was produced, at $1 million studio. They're like, well, I get it. Yeah, Sublime had a whole bunch of songs like that.
Right.
They don't care. I mean, not that they don't care, but like it's not the biggest concern of theirs. And then you get footage. We got some GoPros that we go out and get footage with.
All our videos that come out, we shoot ourselves with a GoPro, and then we take them back and edit them at home.
It's not bad. You can still get good footage with that. You can get great footage with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We'll have a new video come out soon, Trash, featuring JD. What's up, buddy? Hope you're home watching.
And you're right. You got to keep promoting it. You got to get it out there. You got to post it to your Facebook and your Instagram and your Twitters and your all your stuff. But
speaking of Facebook, we got a question here from John Cartiglia. Where's that sexy ass drummer? The only reason I'm here.
We've been asking ourselves the same question.
We've been asking the same damn thing. John, kiss your daughter for me. Tell her I say good night. Uncle Scotty, good night.
Oh.
That's our
drummer.
It was fun. It was funny that I had to put him on there because you guys are now almost complete. You guys have almost all been on the podcast.
Almost. We got Soft Pants and Jamin and Chad.
That's right. Right now, I'd like to take a look at something that you guys have worked on. This is a video that Matt suggested. We're just gonna take a nice little look at a video.
You look nervous, Scott.
Which one did you do?
Oh, it's of me doing some really dirty stuff.
Not exactly. Matt set it up. We're gonna be taking a nice look at a video that you guys put out for Feeling Stoned.
Oh.
And I like to do this. I like to do this as much as I can because I believe it pays big respect to you guys, and it's my way of thanking you guys for being on the podcast. For the next few minutes, I just want to vibe with you guys and watch your video and enjoy it.
Awesome, man.
So here it is.
That was actually our first music video ever.
First music video from the Intracoastals for Feeling Stoned.
Shout out to Dick Liberty for helping us out with it. Here we go.
sitting here on the beach. Peaceful vibes coming over me. I got nowhere to go. Hope the undertow don't take my soul. I'm feeling stoned all the day long. I'm feeling stoned. Got a good vibe coming on. Sun going down, bleeding red and blue. Psychedelic clouds just rolling through. Pipes crashing like a wave. I could not ask for a better day. I'm feeling stoned all the day long. I'm feeling stoned. Got a good vibe coming on. All the day long. Got a good vibe coming on. I'm feeling stoned all the day long. I'm feeling stoned. Got some good vibes coming on.
Yeah.
Man, what a song, bro.
That was fast.
Woo!
That's
And
fun.
even-
That's
and
what
even-
you're talking about, that trance type of song.
Dude, you guys painted a sunset with that song, dude. All you would need is your favorite beverage, something to uplift your day, and just that song. And let me tell you, you would be, and then out of nowhere, I mean, and that's there too, man. And that, me as a rock guitar player originally, I absolutely dive into that too. And the more you throw in to just the canvas of what we call the reggae vibe, right? The more you throw in, the more influences you throw in, that's just the more people that get just added to that vibe, transformed. And I mean, I can't thank you guys enough for coming on to the podcast and talking with me about what it's like to write a song. What it's like to write a song as the Intracoastals.
The hell out of the opportunity.
Definitely, man. Thanks for having us, man. We've had a great time.
And you guys, this new album, I mean, how many songs are you guys putting on it?
What's it, 6? It's 6?
Yeah, it's like a little mini album.
It's a mini album.
Yeah, 6
A
songs.
little more than an EP, a little less than a full length, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, man, and if the songs resonate with you guys, that's what it's all about. You know, the expectation of long or short albums also, I think, needs to be put in the rear view mirror, because nowadays the average musician works 50 hours a week and has a crazy amount of allotted time for
Oh
this
yeah.
specific part of our lives. And so it's even better to see people that are willing to work as hard at their dreams and at their craft and their interest and their love for music as they do pounding the pavement, putting in those 40 hours just to make ends meet, just to pay that rent. You know what I mean? And I love to see that you guys are still doing it. It pushes me, it inspires me to get more music out. And I mean, thank you guys so much for being here. This was amazing.
You got it, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, I couldn't thank you enough, man. We've had a good time. Thank you to the viewers out there.
That's right.
And you know, come check us out sometime.
Check us out. And check out our new album coming out in May.
All the stories
All
are
the
true.
stories are true.
All the stories are true by the Intracoastals. Scott, Matt, thank you so much. Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna put you guys in the lounge, and I'll be with you in a second. Guys, this doesn't get any better. The people that I've met just being a musician absolutely transcends, you know, the normalcy of what people call the regular 9-to-5 life. I mean, you know, I work as much as the next guy, and at the same time, always reminding myself to get out there and follow my dreams, because that's what it takes. It takes putting in the time at work and then coming home and putting in the time to your dreams and working hard at it and knowing that it'll pay off, because it's pure and it's yours and it means the world to you. And I mean, from a song coming from your brain where it's just a hum or a line or a melody, and then boom, before you know it, with your band, with the people that you rely on for inspiration and musical inclination, you know, a song happens. And we write these songs initially for us, and then it becomes something for everybody else. And that in itself is why the musical journey is so special to me specifically, and to the Strongbacks and what we're trying to do. And so I just want to say, guys, thank you for being here for these podcasts. I've been posting these on YouTube, and I'm going to continue to do so. Shortly after this video, it'll be posted to YouTube, and then I'm going to be posting links so that more people can, you know, get exposed to the message that we're trying to, you know, push here in the Strongcast. You know, community, brotherhood, the musician life, and what it takes to keep it going, the different aspects and different facets of what we're doing. So you know, share it up, like it up, you know, let your friends know, you know, there's a new video out there for people that are looking for that brotherhood. There's a new cast, and it's the Strongcast. Thank you so much, guys, and happy Wednesday. We'll see you again soon.